Someone said I need to get my stuff up from the shed so that I can use it, basically, because I'm putting things off. So what I've done is I've ordered a tall, thin set of shelves to go there in my clutter corner. They should tuck in there, out of the way. I mean, that chair never gets used on the dining room table because I never have 4 people here, and if it does, then the table can be moved. So we have a tall set of shelves there. I can get a selection of pots. Most of my chemicals that are out in the grow room can come here. As before, I had them just inside the door. So set of shelves here for putting stuff on that's going to get used. Long-term storage can still be in the shed. I already have a set of shelves to go down there. I just haven't put them together yet. So we got some shelves coming. What else? Been spending me money that I haven't got much of. I've got the RO unit on today. Most of my containers were filled up yesterday. I've still got a few to do, but I also need to fill up the header tank for Hurricane Hector. So that uses a lot of RO water for the initial fill. And what I'm doing today is I'm leaving this door shut because the temperature outside is quite mild. Now if I leave that door shut, I can monitor the temperature on my gauges, but I can also watch the heater and the fan. And if that comes on occasionally during the day, I'll live with that, because by keeping this door shut, like now, the heating's off in the house. I don't need the heating. Believe it or not, you can see it over there. With those blinds open, the sun coming through there in the mornings up to lunchtime actually warms this room up without the heating on, and I don't need the rest of the house warm. I'm not in it. So I think Hurricane Hector can come over and start being used. Currently in here at whatever it is, well, it says 17 degrees there and 19 there, so it's probably around 18, and that says 71% humidity, that says 68. Now that temperature, that humidity is fine. And I don't know whether the temperature is going to go up much today. All I know is that it's mild outside and we're in for a little bit of a warmer spell. So it's a good time to experiment. So that's that. The first one of the spring dendrobiums has opened, the first bloom. Very poor blooming this year on this one, but then it got remounted, the kikis got taken off and mounted, and even the kikis have got buds on. So by the end of this year this should be a good plant, but yeah, first one of those blooms is open, very delicate. The delicacy on this is actually on the outside at the back of the lip. That's where the markings are. Lovely little blooms, not large, tiny. There's some slight fragrance there, but not a lot. What else did I see? We've got a spike over here, sneaking up. That is an odont type Oncidium intergeneric, basically. Has quite attractive blooms. And something else that we haven't looked at is over the back there, my epidendrum's got buds on. That's the bright orange one that blooms for ages and ages. The plant almost was lost, but it seems to have recovered itself and it's managed a couple of spikes this year. What I need is some more new growth, that would be good. But anyway, we'll have some blooms there. And come on brain, get in gear. Here. This will be a first time bloomer. And this is, it's got a strange name. It's effectively, I believe, a prosthetia, but Anachelium pachycepal. You have a go at it. Who thinks this stuff up? Anyway, that came from Jeff's. The last 2 new growths put up spikes that aborted. But it looks like this time round it's going to bloom. There's a couple of spikes coming on there. You'll notice those. Last time I watered, so that's all that's new, I believe. I've also ordered a new tap connector for the RO unit because I'm fed up with the leak. And it's a lot of that was the problem when I was trying to do it in the sink. It wasn't just the adapter that was put on the actual tap to the sink that had a slight leak. It was that unit as well, that push-pull thing there. So I've ordered a new one, so that'll be a new fitting for the tap itself and a new fitting that goes on the end of the RO unit, and hopefully that'll stop the leaks, which puts more pressure into the unit itself, which should mean more water comes out the other end and less wastage as well. So we've got that to do. So the RO unit will probably be on all day today because that holds an awful lot. I mean, if you look at the size of my bucket, okay, it's round, but you know, everybody can picture the same sort of volume as a square and then bring it round here. It's going to take at least a full bucket to get a decent level in there, and probably a bucket and a half. So plus I've still got the rest of my containers to fill up, plus I need to end up with the water in the bucket for for the vanders. So I think the old RO unit's going to work in its whatnot off today. We're going to have a Cattleya out in bloom soon. Buds are showing their colour and they've spread. Once they spread out like that, then chances are they're going to open relatively soon. And that's my bright red one. That's also got a new growth at the base, I noticed. So as far as in here is concerned, I've got to water my pots today, and the holy clay pots get watered more often, but every now and again the two come together. So today I've got to water all the pots except for the cooler, shadier set. They were done a couple of days ago, and the mounts were done yesterday. They're okay today, but frequency on the mounts has now got to be stepped up. Yeah, so it's not so much the temperatures, it's the day length. You know, if the day length is that much longer, they're using up water for longer each day, so they're drying quicker, so they need a bit of help. So that's that. And what else? Oh, I had a load of information from the conveyancing people about the house sale, because they've changed people again. Same company, but due to a restructure, you've been allocated a new person. Of course, that person has to go through the whole file to find out what's still needed. Got a big list of stuff to do and another flipping great form to fill in, which is the transfer for the land registry. So that was going to come at some point anyway, it has to be. But that's got to be signed and witnessed by all four of us. So the actual document's got to be passed round to four separate people, and they've got to find a witness to stand next to them while they sign it. So that's not going to happen overnight, is it? We've got that to do. I'm going to try and have a go at probate again this week, see if I can get through. It's like contacting the dead. Maybe I am, who knows. But yeah, I'll try and get an update on them. I really do just want this house finished with and all this stuff. But it still drags on, and so it does. I've got my bit to do, so I have to get on with it basically. Got some more of the suet balls with all the seeds in, because I've run out. They get eaten quite quickly because the starlings hit them. Although the starlings haven't been round, but that could be because they ran out. And the other thing is, I haven't seen the nuthatch on there for a while, and there's definitely two around, not just one. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen about that. So the chances are, if they've got a nest site which they use each year, and then they'll be off to that nest site wherever that is, and if it's quite a long way from here, then they might not drop back much anymore. So we shall see. But, anyway, the birds are visiting frequently. It's a nice little distraction from all the other flipping stuff I've got to do. And I have a Orchid Society committee meeting tonight for Bournemouth Orchid Society, which is an evening do where we have homemade cake and coffee, and we normally get a bit of business done as well. Sometimes. A lot of larking around goes well, an amount of larking around. It's pretty serious basically. It's running the whole thing and looking at what comes next and how much we're going to need to spend on things and all that sort of stuff, so it's quite important. And then this weekend I've got the coach trip. Hannah will be down on Friday, so Friday will be a bit of a travelling day, although I'm not picking her up till late afternoon, so it's you know, I'll be leaving here like early afternoon, I suppose. I've got the morning here. And then Saturday is up early, off on the coach trip and back quite late. So unless I've got a video in hand, there won't be any video on the Saturday. That's for sure. Right, that'll do for today. Enough waffling. As I say, I've got quite a busy day. I've got forms to fill in. I've got phone calls to make. I've got to go around the post office and pay a check in. And I've got all the RO unit to keep my eye on, because that involves going right round the house. I have to go out the front door, right round the house and down the alleyway and out here each time I want to sort of deal with the RO unit. But yeah, I'll fill up the 5 litre containers and just pour them into the header tank. I'll have to have a good look at that. It might need a clean, it might need a sterilisation before I do that. But it is only for the mist. It's not like it's going on the plants directly. So I'll just make sure it's clean. Basically, I can just use some boiling water for that. Anyway, so that's my day for today. Watering the pots, that'll be now. I've got lots of phone calls to do, but my phone was nearly flat this morning, so it's on charge. And it's getting old, so that, you know, the battery takes longer to charge up nowadays and runs down quicker. You know how it is. But yeah, I've got some probably what are going to be quite long phone calls to do today. So just not a busy day, but a plodding day. I've ordered quite a few things online. As I say, I've got those shelves coming. I've managed to get some larger black labels so that I can use my label maker for the pots. There's various things I've ordered online. I did a bit of that yesterday. Not much for here though, just the tap connector really, and the new shelves. But that'll aid and abet, you know, the whole process. Just sort of keep it ticking over. I'm hoping not to spend a lot on kit or anything in here. Oh, and I've ordered a desktop fan. So I've got a circulating fan that's just going to sit there in the corner. And if I'm busy and I need this, it can just lift down and go on the floor. You know, it's a small one. It's a 12-inch one, so quite a bit smaller than that. And a little round stand on it. It's an oscillating one, so it should circulate the air quite nicely in here. Enough to just move the air. I don't want a force 8 gale with all the plants sort of hanging onto their hats and stuff, you know. Just a gentle movement of the air around here. As I said, I need to get the humidifier set up as well. The humidifier plugs into the humidistat. The humidistat plugs into the mains. So I only need one socket to run that, you know. And with the combined fan and heater in another socket and the separate desktop fan in the third socket, I'm hoping that's all the electrics I need this year. And hopefully in the not too distant future, we can disconnect the heater. Although it might be one of those things I just leave connected in case we get a cold snap. You know, we can get frosts right up into May in this flipping country. So obviously not going to get disconnected just yet. Oh, and this has opened some blooms. This has got quite a few buds on it now. I keep forgetting this one, even though it's right there under my nose. This is Dendrobium conico. And it's one of those that is in bloom almost all the time. But recently it's had quite a long break. It's busy pushing on new growths from the base. They're all pushing up nicely. And last year's growths, you know, last year's canes were reasonable size. They're starting to do autumn at the moment in spring, dropping their leaves. And as I say, there's quite a few buds pushing out in various places on here. So that's good. We've got a bud on the end of this cane. Oh, that's unusual. Right. Yeah, so I'll leave it at that. Just a chat, update, things going on. And it is quite a busy day today, but lots of different things to do. But the first job to get on with, now that I've got the water to do it, is to get on and water all these pots, because it's a 2-session job. I do it in 2 goes with a coffee in between and have a little break, so it doesn't get too tedious. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks. Oh, I must say this as well. Several people have mentioned about ideas for videos, and several people have said, why don't you bring back the idea of the questions and answers? And the reason they stopped was that I stopped getting the questions. We can't have answers if you don't ask questions, can you? But I would like to do it differently. What I thought I would do is just do a short video, not this one, probably the next one, maybe later today or tomorrow, that will be the Q's and A's video, and that'll be it. It'll just be an announcement that there will be some questions and answers session, and this is the video where you leave all your questions. Because I don't want to go searching for them through all the videos like I used to and having to write them down because I wouldn't remember them. If I do a single video saying this is where you put your questions, and then all the questions will be together, yeah? And then after an amount of time, I'll do the answers, yeah? And we'll do a video where I can actually say what the questions are and what my version of the answers would be. A little teaser. That lends itself quite nicely to a live video, doesn't it? Maybe, perhaps. See you next time.